I had this Tudor Black Bay for 7 years, and now is a good time to start making some decisions about the service. So in this video, you will see another collector's perspective on what do I do about servicing my watches, why 7 years, what about the new Kenissi movement, and why the Amplitude is absolutely not helpful to answer the question if my watch needs to be serviced or not. So keep watching. In the old times, oils that were used in watchmaking were not as good as modern oils. So those old oils, they usually hardened in about 1 or 2 years. So when your oils harden, everything stops inside of your watch, so your watch doesn't work anymore. So you bring it to the watchmaker and you are forced to actually service your watch. Now, modern oils, they are much, much better than those old oils used to be. So modern oils behave differently. So in lab environments, modern oils are actually good for about 10 years. But in real life, so when the oil is actually inside of your watch and there are temperature changes, you wear your watch, it's actually less than 10 years. But in about 5 or 7 years on average, the modern oils inside of your watch, they're not going to harden, but they evaporate. So what's going to happen is that your watch will keep running, but there is no more oils, there is no more lubrication anymore. So you basically will be slowly damaging the parts of your movement. So that's actually very important to understand. So my Black Bay is actually 7 years old. So now I know for sure that all oils in my movement are gone. And now every day I'm wearing my watch as I'm slowly damaging and wearing down the parts of my movement. We will talk about if it needs to be serviced, if I want to service it or not. And coming back to the amplitude, there is this advice that you should check your amplitude to know if your watch needs to be serviced or not. So let's say my amplitude is great, right? I'm still damaging the parts of my movement, right? This is not helpful for me at all. Now, when you understand that, you can make an educated decision if you want to service your watch or not. So in my case, my Tudor uses 88-28-24 movement. Yes, I will be damaging the parts of this movement every day I'm wearing it, but those parts are not that expensive. I had a very expensive part changed in a different watch, and that was $50. That was ETA movement. But cost of the service will be maybe like $300, maybe $400, right? So now I can compare the price of the service and price of those parts that I'm damaging. And I can make a decision, do I really want to protect those parts? In addition to that, service is actually very, very involved procedure. So the watchmaker will fully disassemble your movement, will after that reassemble it. There are many, many things that can go wrong. So even if you have the best watchmaker, there is a chance that something will go wrong. Do you necessarily want to take that chance? There are a lot of Seikos or like Rolexes are known to run for like 40 years without service, right? How do they run for 40 years when people are slowly damaging the parts? People are damaging the parts, but it's not that bad. So obviously, if my watch wouldn't work the way I want it to work, and I checked it yesterday, it still runs spot on chronometer specs, right? So for me, there is actually not that much sense to preemptively spend a lot of money in a risk that something will go wrong during the service. Obviously, if you would have a different movement and if parts would be expensive, or we're going to, at the end of this video, we're going to talk about Kenissi movement. So with Kenissi, they kind of made everything worse. Also, there is this important argument. How much wear are we actually putting on the watches? So if you're like me, you have many different watches, right? So that Tudor is not the only watch that you're wearing every day. So like if you want to do like simple math, let's say you have 10 watches and you wear each of them, I don't know, for equal amounts of time. So basically it's going to take you 10 years to put 1 year worth of wear on your watch. So like it doesn't make sense to do any service for me right now after 7 years. But I will do it when there is a problem. There is one thing that you should definitely do, even if you don't do the service, is on some regular intervals, you should replace the gaskets of your watch. And you should ask your watchmaker to pressure test with the new gaskets. So this is very, very simple and very, very cheap procedure. But those rubber gaskets that you have on your watch, they will definitely fail, and you don't want to keep wearing the watch because the moisture will go inside and basically it's going to kill everything inside. So this is one thing that you actually should do on regular intervals. Maybe I don't know, every 5, or maybe I'll do every 10 years for my Tudor Black Bay. Now let's talk about Kenissi movement. So I'm lucky that I have ETA movement, that everything is cheap inside of my watch and any watchmaker can do it. Now with those Kenissi movements that Tudor moved all Black Bays to, so now the access to parts is not as good as access to ETA parts. So now not every watchmaker can get those parts. Basically, you probably would need to send it to Tudor, and it's more expensive, and there are like issues with that. So basically, that they made it slightly worse. But what actually the other thing that they made much worse with the Kenissi movement is they significantly increased the power reserve. And now with this power reserve, remember I told you that in 10 years you put 1 year worth of wear on your watch, right? Now with this Kenissi movement, that's not true anymore. Because let's say you wear your watch for like 2 days and after you put it in a box. Now, because your power reserve is 70, 80 hours, that watch will run many, many days in the box when you are not wearing it. So now you unnecessarily put additional wear on your watch. So now in 10 years, you put maybe like not 1 year worth of wear on your watch, but maybe like 2 years, and that's bad. And those things on the movement are not the only things that they made worse. So look in this video that I've made, I listed a lot, actually 16 things that why new Tudor Black Bays are not as good as those previous Tudor Black Bays. You will find some like amazing surprises. Like, why did they do it?